Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you want to see this full face, go ahead and check out my previous video using all Pacifica products. Now, let's go ahead and wash this makeup off and put on a brand new face. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary, and for today's video, we are doing a brand new face video. I am so excited. I love doing brand new face videos, so let's just go ahead and dive on in. If you are new to the channel, hi, welcome. I would love for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, introduce yourself down below. And if you don't know what we do here, I like to make brand new face videos, taking one brand at a time and creating a brand new face with that brand. So again, that's what we're gonna be doing today. Let's introduce this brand. I'm so excited about this one. This is one I've been really wanting to do for quite some time, and we're finally doing it, and that is ColourPop. Ooh, I'm so excited. Now, I've got it all laid out here in front of me. 4 of the products that I have laid out in front of me are not new. They were pulled from my collection, and I have even other ColourPop things in my collection that we're not using for this video, but there are other things that I purchased and whatnot to be able to make this brand new face possible. Love ColourPop, very excited with the products that I've already owned. And so I'm eager to find out with some of these other newer products that we're going to use today to see how they work. Let's go ahead and pull up ColourPop's website and just kind of get a feel for what the brand is about. So going on the About Us on ColourPop's page here, there's really just one little paragraph kind of near the top that stands out to me. Basically just saying, made with love in California, born and raised in the City of Angels. The brand was founded in 2014 by Seed Beauty, and it says, we pride ourselves on being wallet friendly and bunny approved. So good cost, not tested on animals. They have the little bunny stamp. And then it has one last little sentence here that says, we test our products in the nicest way possible, leaving fur babies to be fur babies and experimenting on people instead. And they say, the people at ColourPop HQ to be exact. So they do all the testing in labs, no animal cruelty, which I think is really good. That's important. And then that's kind of the biggest thing. They go into from there, like awards that they've got from like certain products and things like that they recommend. And it kind of briefs more on, just good affordability, great quality of like their lip products. So yes, when it comes to ColourPop being affordable, oftentimes like in Ulta, ColourPop will kind of be in like the drugstore area, but not until recently you couldn't actually get ColourPop in drugstores, but they have recently come up with a line that is sold exclusively at Targets and stuff, so now you can get it in Targets. I don't know about Walmarts or other places like that, so I think they are specific to their website, Ulta, and select special items and stuff that are at like Targets. Anyways, I'm more than excited to start playing with this makeup, so let's just dive in. We're gonna start out on our eyes like we usually do and use the concealer to prep. And for concealer, I decided to get their ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Cream Concealer. So this guy right here, I ordered this offline. It looks to be a little cool, a little dark. We'll see how this works. I'm very excited to try this. So here's what that looks like. And then opening it up, it's got a pretty standard doe foot, a little bit more of like a flat doe foot, but not too big or anything like that. So with this being a hyaluronic one, hydrating, let's just kind of see what it says here. They've currently got about 30 shades listed on their website. The shade range looks, it looks pretty good. They've got fairly light. It gets, it gets to be to a nice deep tone in there too. It says creamy, cushiony concealer, says full coverage, fresh, natural finish, super blendable, has coconut water, it's dermatologist tested for all skin types. Full coverage, fresh, natural finish, blendable, hydrating is kind of what I'm seeing from that. Let's just go ahead and I'm gonna grab a sponge here. I'm gonna start by using this to prep the eyelids. I think we'll be able to make the color work here, hopefully. Usually I'd like it to be a little bit lighter and brighter for like on the eyes and stuff, but it's not looking too scary as an eye base here right now. But if I do end up liking this, I'll probably look into getting a lighter shade and probably looking in stores instead of ordering online when picking up a new shade. But I mean, it blends out really nicely, building up on itself really nicely too. The site says that it has like a natural finish. I think so, like it doesn't look overly glossy or anything like that. Kind of like a satin finish. It says full coverage. It's giving some pretty good coverage, I'd say, on the eyes here. I can just barely see my veins kind of popping through, but not a whole lot. So I'm liking how the coverage is looking here to prep the eyes. I mean, it seems to be drying down really, really nicely. Just barely tacky, but that feels like it's going away pretty darn quick. So feels good on the eyes. It's looking good on the eyes here so far. Just gonna go ahead and get the other eye here now. It's also nice as it doesn't really have much of a scent. It's just kind of like a natural fresh scent. I like that. That feels really nice on the eyes. I think that'll be a very nice, simple eye base, and I don't think the shadow, I hope at least, it doesn't feel like the shadows over top will disturb it and should hopefully sit on top pretty nicely. So next we're going to dive into the eyeshadow. Now this is one of the products that I already owned, is this palette, and I have a couple of ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. I know one that's still in stock, one of them that's very old that I should probably get rid of. I've got the Animal Crossing little quad collection that they had for a little bit, and I've got the Raw Beauty Christie, I think is still on their site. I'll have to confirm that. But this palette, oh, I love this palette. So this is the Your Golden palette. It's one of their like more mega palettes that they've got. They've got a couple of versions of this, and I want to own every single one of them. Like, oh, it's just so pretty. So this is the palette that we're going to be using today. I've dipped into this a couple of times and I've loved every single look that I've created. I'm not too sure what direction we're going to go here. Maybe we can do something with the blue. This is a goofy thing that probably a lot of people know, but when I discovered this, my mind was blown. Their pans and the way that they're created, they have a magnet base on the bottom. So if you ever wanted to depot or take out a specific eyeshadow, or if you used it and possibly wanted to replace it, if you just take a magnet, I'll try to do this bottom one without making a mess here, just kind of run it against the edge, you can pop these out so easily and either repot them into your own magnetic palettes, create your own little stories and things like that. Or again, like if you used one up completely and wanted to put a replacement into your palette, you totally could. And I'm just like, it's the coolest thing ever, and it's so fun. Every single ColourPop eyeshadow palette that I have, you can do this, and you can switch and swap things around. It's too fun. So one little goofy little thing I just wanted to point out. Again, some people might already know that. I find that to be so cool and so fun. So I wanted to share it with you. But anyways, let's figure out what kind of look we want to do. I'm going to take this Real Techniques base shadow brush here. I'm going to start with this lighter shade up here called Hidden Gem. And just starting to run that along the crease. I don't think this is gonna show up too much because it's lighter, but I feel like maybe that like bright pink could look really nice. Yeah, you probably can't see too much of that. That's okay. Let's go ahead and go into this slightly cooler brown here called Cruise. Same brush, dipping on in there and kind of going over the same area, just kind of in the crease. And continue to kind of build up that transition. Keeping it kind of light, and these are lighter browns too, so not too sure if you can see this on camera very well or not, but I like how it's building up. Again, this is a palette I've used, so I kind of know how the ColourPop shadows work, and I love the way that they blend. I love the amount of pigmentation there is and just the manipulation you get with the shadows. We're just gonna kind of keep deepening things up slowly. I'm gonna take this next, still kind of cool brown shade here called Private Beach. Still using the same brush, kind of going over the same area here still, maybe a little bit lower, and focusing kind of more here on the outer third area of the eye. One thing that I think some might have them, but maybe I'm wrong, but I believe a good amount of the ColourPop eyeshadows don't come with a mirror on the inside. That would be one thing that could be kind of nice, because it's such a habit to like want to go like this and look at the mirror while you're doing your eyes and stuff. But it's really not. It's a very, very minor thing. So I've got a very soft, cool, simple base set up here. Let's figure out what we want to do. I want to try to maybe do something blue to kind of go with the shirt that I have. So let's do some swatching. The colors that my eyes are gravitated towards are probably the colors I've used already, and I should really try to use other colors. We'll see what happens. But let's start by swatching the two blues in here. We'll start with this more metallic here that's called Suns Out. There's that. It's probably gonna not pick up very well on camera, but it's kind of got like a tealy and gold kind of shift to it. Very, very pretty. Not sure if that's what I want to use. Let's go into this more chunky glitter shade here called Rum Season. Again, my lights are probably kind of blinding it out, but that's just like a glitter topper. It's got blues, greens, pinks, white, just so many different colors kind of in there. That's really pretty. That could be really fun to use as like a topper. My eye is gravitated towards this salty shade up here. And again, I've probably used this before, but this is like a pink metallic that's in here. Right there. Let me turn down my lights for a smidge second. Does that help any bit? There's that guy. Let's swatch two more. Let's do Jet Set and Illusion, which is on the end here. There's Jet Set. Jet Set's kind of like a more like light white champagne kind of color, and then the other one is a lot more of like a copper golden kind of shift. I wish you could see them a little bit better here on camera, but they are beautiful in person. Let's go ahead. I'm just gonna take my finger here and I'm gonna dip into that salty shade and use this on the majority of the eyelid. I do also have, from the Animal Crossing collection, an individual ColourPop, like their shock shadows. That is one of my favorite glitter toppers to use. I decided not to pull it for this video because it's a limited edition thing, and also it would just be like an additional little like price to have to add into our total. But ooh, I love that ColourPop Animal Crossing Super Shock Shadow. Let's go ahead and try to get a little bit more color on the eyes here. Let's see if this deeper metallic shade here called, I don't know how to pronounce that, Palisades, the Palisades right here. Let's try using that on our finger here a little bit more towards the end and kind of blend that in with this other shadow. And then let's just go ahead and take that deepest brown shade, that Private Beach shade, on that Real Techniques brush and try to bring a little bit of that back. Now let's take that more chunky glitter topper called Rum Season and get that all over the eye. Alrighty, that glitter is on. I hope the camera can pick it up here. I'll try to kind of go slow here and see if you can see that. That is so pretty. The eyes are simple, very kind of natural, but that glitter is so fun. It looks so good in person. I really like how the eyes look here. Again, very simple, but I do like how they look. I did go ahead and take a wipe and kind of clean up the edges here and tried to get some of the fallout off my face. The glitters and the metallics in this are for sure a little messy, and there is fallout on the face, but that's why we do our eyes here first. I don't really mind it too much, and even if it does fall out a little bit during the day, as long as it's just a little bit, it's really not too bad. But happy with how the eyeshadows are looking here on the top lid so far. Let's grab the next product, which is going to be the eyeliner, and they've got options between like gel liners, like pencil liners and liquid liners. I decided to get one of their liquid liners, and they have every color available on their website between gel and liquid. I decided just to go with a brown, try it out. This is their BFF Liquid Liner, and I got the brown shade in Grande. So it looks to be a felt tip applicator. Couple lines on the back of my hand here. It is very liquidy. It is kind of bleeding into like the lines and stuff on my hand. So we'll see how that lays on the lid, but then it dries down. It's drying down really, really quick to like a nice, it's not like a shiny finish or anything like that, so that could be nice. So let's go ahead and apply this. We'll probably try to do a very baby liner with it, or baby wing with it. All right, there's the one eye done so far. That applied really quick, really, really nicely. It glides on the eye here really, really well. Without any cleanup so far here, I think the wing came out pretty good. So I do like how that looks here. Pretty quick, pretty nice. I liked how that applied so far here. So let's try to match up on the other eye here now. All right, second eye done. I feel like I went a little bit thicker with this line here, but still looking pretty good. Again, without any cleanup. This is the little baby wing that we got. It's not the worst. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself for that. I like how that applied. That applied really, really nicely. And the fact that we've got like a chunky glitter on our eyes, it applied over that really, really well. So yeah, I like how that looks. I like how that feels. I like how it applied and how it's drying down. Kind of just a satin kind of dry down. It's not super glossy, but it's not necessarily like matte. It's really pretty. I like that a lot. So next up is the mascara. They've also got a good amount of options for mascara on their site, along with color options. I think I decluttered them. There's a chance they're still in my collection. I don't remember. I have owned 2 colors of ColourPop mascara before. They're purple and they're blue. They're so fun. They're so pigmented and beautiful. So I have used those before, but I decided to pick up a black mascara. I think it's a black. Yes. I decided to pick up a black mascara, and the one that I got was their Level Up mascara. Oh, Level Up Lengthening mascara. Ooh. That's probably why I got it, because I need the length. So the Level Up mascara, it says, take your lashes to the next level with our lifting and lengthening mascara. Play up the drama with our precision tip brush that grabs and lengthens every lash from root to tip for the ultimate fluttery look. This sounds promising. It says buildable formula, helps define, separate, and extend length for an eye-opening lash that won't smudge or budge, okay? Gives lashes a healthy sheen minus the flake for long lifted lashes that last. Oh, I am excited for this. So length, lift, non-flaky, buildable formula for drama. This like hits every check mark for me. This is what the packaging looks like. It's like a skinnier container than a lot of mascaras typically. Here is what the applicator looks like. It is bristle applicators. It's decently long, like big, and it's got larger bristles at the end, and it kind of starts to taper down into smaller bristles at the end. And it said something about, where did it say it? Precision tip, grabs and lengthens every lash. Okay, so this is their precision tip. So let's give it a go. Ooh, I'm excited. So I've already gone ahead and curled my lashes, because these baby lashes need a curl. Ooh. This is a very thin feeling formula, coats the lashes really, really quick. And I think it would be described as like a dry formula. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I think I might like this. And then it's starting to build up on itself, get a little clumpy, which I know some people don't like clumps in their mascara. I typically do, because it provides a little bit of drama, and I like having my eyelashes have a little bit of attention. Here is one lash done so far. This is about 2 coats. I'll probably try to build a little bit more on it. That's pretty. I'm happy about this. It doesn't feel like it's staying as lifted as I would like it to, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I like how it's coating on the lashes. I like how light it feels on the lashes. I like the build on the lashes. I think that's really, really pretty. Ooh. Ooh. I didn't think I'd think much of it, but I actually like the sleek, like the slim packaging on this. It's a minor little thing, but feels really nice. It's not like big and bulky. I think I'm gonna like this mascara a lot. That looks really pretty. It feels really nice. Again, I wish it would stay lifted a little bit, but that's like the smallest little thing. I love how the lashes look. I think they're so pretty. Again, I have teeny tiny baby lashes. I don't know how well you can see some of this on camera. It's not as dramatic as some of the drama mascaras that I like, but it's in a natural way and in a very light way. And I could probably build it up a little bit more than this, but I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. We'll see if I add more after I finish at the bottom. This is promising. Very excited about that. Woohoo! So next we're gonna move on to the face here and go into the primer. I decided to pick up their no filter primer, and they call it, like, it says no filter primer on here, but on the website it's called their natural matte primer, and it just says it's a lightweight skin perfecting primer, creates a smooth and even canvas for flawless makeup that lasts all day. Even though they say matte, they also say natural matte, so I don't know how matte this is intended to be, but we shall find out. So comes in a little squeegee tube like this. It's got like a little tip on the end here. Feels very kind of lotiony. It honestly has, at least when applying it here, a lot of like hydrating looking properties to it. Very healthy looking. It doesn't look to feel, like it doesn't feel or look to be very matte. I actually really like, at least on the back of my hand here, how that's looking and how that's feeling. I can kind of see it is smoothing out like the creases and the little lines and stuff that I have on the back of my hand. So we'll see kind of how that works over textures and pores and things like that. Just grabbing a little bit more. And we'll kind of start in the center of our face here, where we have the most texture, and then kind of blend it out. All right, we've got the primer applied. I really like the feeling of it. It's not in any way slippy or silicone-y feeling, which I really like. I mean, the finish is really nice. It's not overly glowy. Natural is a good describing word for it. Things do feel, and they do look smoothed out. I would agree with that. I can still see my pores and stuff, but we'll see kind of how foundation sits over that. Yeah, I like the way it's feeling. I like the way it's kind of drying down, and the finish is really nice. And I do kind of see where that smoothing property that they're talking about is coming. So let's go into the foundation next. And actually, I guess I didn't get the foundation. This is another one of the products that I've had and I actually really like as well. And it is the Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer. This right here. I think the first time I used this was in it was like a non-brand new face video, kind of just like maybe products I had recently purchased at Ulta or something like that. And very quickly came to really like this product. It's like, how do I describe it? It's a tinted moisturizer, so it's not a full coverage product, but you can still get a very glamorous and full coverage, like a full glam look with it. I prefer something like this when it comes to like glam like makeup looks, because then if you do like a full heavy foundation and you put then more products on top, everything just feels really heavy and caked on. But when you put such a sheer tinted like base down and then you still put your other products over top, the way that everything builds over it is so nice. I found myself to be very excited about this product and I love it so much. So that's what we're going to be using today. And the shade that I have for this, does it even say on here? It does. It says Fair N4. So here's what the packaging looks like. Again, mine is used. It's a little dirty, but it's like a tube, but then it has this pump. And so I'm just gonna pump some onto my back of my hand here. And for a tinted moisturizer, it still is runny, but it's fairly thick, which is very nice. So that's probably more than what I need. I'm gonna now take my sponge here and pick some of that up. Start blending this on the face. So you might not even be able to tell really, but right now I've only got it really blended in on this side. Like you can still see little bit of redness and like skin texture and things like that coming through, but it still does kind of balance everything out a little bit compared to this side. There's just something about it, the way that it looks. I like using it for so many things. It's just so thin, but it does have a little bit of build, but it's like intended to let your natural skin kind of come through. And I just think it's so pretty. There is that skin tint on. We're gonna go into the concealer here again and conceal under the eyes and maybe just do a little bit of stuff. We'll see. Again, hopefully, we'll probably go very light with this because I don't quite think this is my preferred shade, but I think we can still make it work. Yeah, that actually worked out pretty well. And I used it in a couple of spots around the face to just do a little bit of spot concealing, and that blended in very, very nicely. So again, not as bright under the eyes as I would typically like, but it still is a fine shade. It worked out really well. And I feel like hopefully you can kind of see here what I'm saying with that foundation of like just doing the smallest little things I do in those spot conceals. Like the face looks so good. I'm so happy about it. Maybe I'm geeking out about this more than most people care about, but I just love how that tinted moisturizer looks on the face. It's so pretty. Anyways, what are we doing next? We're setting the face. We gotta make sure our beautiful face stays set and beautiful. So we're gonna go into the setting powder here next. And I picked up their translucent, no filter, loose setting powder. And this does come in other shades. I got the translucent, but it comes in a pink. Pink is a popular thing going around these days. A soft pink, a peach, translucent caramel, banana, and translucent deep. It says it is a weightless, loose setting powder that locks in makeup for all day wear without feeling heavy or looking cakey. So again, I didn't show it off too much here yet. Here's what it looks like. It just kind of has like their logo on it. So when you open it up here, it's got the holes in the one side and it's got one of those twists that you can lock it and nothing will come out, which is very nice. It'll still get messy. That's just how setting powders are. But let's take and dump some in the lid here. And I'm gonna take this little velour puff here, dip on in, kind of distribute it on the back of my hand here, and then start under the eyes with it. All right, and now I'm just kind of focusing in the center here, and then as there's a little bit less on the puff, I'm kind of going over the rest of the face. Face is set. It feels pretty nice here. There's nothing like too crazy at the moment, at least that's standing out from it. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey or anything like that, kind of like how they stated on the website, which is really, really nice. I like how it's feeling under the eyes. I like how it's looking on the face here. The face still has, it's a little bit mattified from the powder, but I think the face still has a nice little natural sheen to it. So still loving how the face is looking and feeling, so that is awesome. Let's do the brows here next. And for brows, I got their little duo, their little gel and pencil duo. I don't think it's on the site anymore because I got this a while ago, but I'll give you the individual prices for them. I have tried a ColourPop brow pen before, and it was very warm. It didn't look very natural on my blonde hairs. They have a lot of options, so maybe I just need to try a different shade of the brow pen. But we're doing a brow pencil here. This is their brow pencil. And the shade I got is Taupe. And then we also got one of their gels. They've got tinted ones, but in the set it came with a clear brow gel. So let's start with the pencil here. It's just like a retractable pencil. And it's not like super small, but it's not like a very thick pencil either. I think that should be a pretty good shade, and it's honestly very creamy. Some brow pencils take a minute for it to even like show up, so I think this will be really nice. So combing through with the spoolie on the end, and let's see how this looks. So there's one brow done so far. The taupe color works really, really well with my blonde hairs. The formula has good pigment to it, but it's also really easily workable, I would say, where if you go a little too heavy-handed in an area, you can take the spoolie and kind of smooth it out pretty quick. And then also, like, if it gets a little like out of place, you can kind of use your finger to help kind of lift the product a little bit, help keep things from looking too crazy. So yeah, there's one brow done so far. I'm liking that. I'll go ahead and do the other brow here now. There are both the brows with the brow pencil in. Again, liking that color. I like that formula. Easy to work with, and they've got a lot of color options on their site, so that's super nice as well. So far so good with the brows. Let's go ahead and grab the clear brow gel here next. And for this clear brow gel, it says on the site that it's a non-crunchy brow gel that should last all day. So let's see. It's a smaller, I mean, that's pretty standard size, I guess, for a brow gel. Then opening it up here, it's got a tiny little spoolie. It holds a lot of product on the end there. Whew. Let's comb this with the brows. We're gonna call that good. That's a very interesting feeling brow gel. It's thick and like you can see it when it's going on at first. And they say like it's a non-crunchy, like I can't feel it here. But when you touch them, it almost feels like a laminated or like a soap brow kind of texture where like you push on them and it like sticks to your face. And I do like that. So it feels like it's gonna have some pretty strong hold, but still some flex. Again, like with a soap brow, it kind of has like a flex to it, but you can really tack it down to the face. So I do like how that's looking here so far. So let's keep moving. We're gonna go and finish up the under eyes here real quick. Eyes are complete. If I didn't say it earlier enough, I think I'm really gonna like this mascara. I went ahead and put on another coat before going in on the lower lashes with it, and I just love how it looks and I love how it feels. I'm so giddy about it. But there are the eyes complete. Loving how everything is working here so far, to be honest. So really excited about this. Let's move on to the face here and go into the bronzer. And for bronzer, I decided to go with one of their Super Shock bronzers. And the shade I picked up, they've got a bunch of them. I'm probably gonna say this wrong. I'll bet, I-S-L-E, bet. This right here in the pan. It looks to be pretty deep. Ooh, it is. It's creamy. Ooh, I just like destroyed the front of it already, but I did not expect it to be that soft and buttery. Okay, let me. You like my bronzer? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. That's what it says. Matte Cream to Powder Bronzer. Features same bouncy formula as I guess their other Super Shocks. So I wonder if the blush is the same way because I got a Super Shock blush and a Super Shock highlighter. Ooh. Buildable, soft matte formula effortlessly melts onto the skin with a healthy skin-like finish. Wow, I was not expecting that. Maybe that's just how all Super Shock is. I didn't realize that. But yeah, creamy. And then they say a cream to powder feel formula. Ooh, so how do I want to use this? I was going to use my big fluffy brush, but I don't know with a formula like that if that's what I should do. Should I use the sponge? I think we're going to use a sponge. Let's do a sponge. I'm going to use the bottom of my sponge here, just a side of it, because I'll probably use it for blush and even highlighter too. I'm going to dip in. I was going to distribute on the back of my hand here, but it distributes pretty well, I think. And then let's just kind of bounce it on the face. Is this how I want to do this? I don't think so. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take one of my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending brushes. That should fit in there pretty nicely. Gather the product on there, distribute on the back of my hand a little bit, and blend it out that way, I think. This is an interesting formula. Honestly, I don't know what to think about it right now. I was not expecting this at all. I might try to build it up a little bit more, but I've got it on this side here so far. So here's with, here's without. You can see it, but it's very soft. Maybe I'm just not using it, or maybe I'm just not familiar with it and I'm going a little light-handed, which is maybe good. It's good that it can be very soft, but I'll see if I can kind of intensify it a little bit here. It could also just be the color I chose to get. Was not at all what I was expecting. I think I like it. I think I like the finish of it. It's very, very cool. I think I just need to get used to it. So I'm gonna keep building it up here and do the other side here as well. Alrighty, we've got that Super Shock bronzer applied on both sides here. I do really like it. I was mostly just very, very surprised by the formula. I did not know that about Super Shock, but I guess that makes sense because I do have a Super Shock highlighter that kind of has that cream feel. But it's different with a highlighter where there's like glitter little bits and stuff in it. This felt very creamy to the touch, but I do see how it kind of like dries down like a powder feel. So I do like it. And I do like this color. I do think typically I would maybe go for a more cool color than this one. So maybe I'll have to pick up another shade or two. So it looks really, really nice. Just was not sure. I just didn't expect that because I was not aware that that was what the Super Shock formula kind of was. It's very pretty. I love how that looks on the face here. So now let's dive into the Super Shock blush. And I got there Between the Sheets Super Shock Matte Blush. So let's open this guy up. And that has the same little like pattern and stuff that they have. So let's touch it. Yeah, it's creamy. It's so cool. It looks very deep in the pan here, as you can see. But as I rub it I put it in a weird spot, but as I rub it kind of on my hand here, when it's thinner, it's got a little bit more of like a brightness to it, I'd say. So I'm gonna take the other, because I've got two of them here, so a clean e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, kind of do the same thing. Dip into it here and apply this on the cheeks. Such a fun formula. That is so interesting. I like the matte finish on this. I like matte blushes, and I can kind of control the glow. But even with this type of color, like I was saying, it looks a lot brighter when it's kind of sheared out. Like, you know, it's not so thick in the pan or whatever. It almost kind of naturally creates lightness there, like a natural highlight, but in a matte way. Does that make any sense? I like that. I like the finish of this. I like this color. It's really, really pretty. And I kind of want to put the lid back on that. The lids are a little funky. You gotta get it right in order to make sure that it closes. Don't dry it out. But I'm gonna open up the bronzer here again. I just wanna go over that a little bit and bring some of that back. I'm gonna mush the two together. I'm gonna take my sponge and kind of go over both of those. That's pretty. I like that a lot. That is a very, very pretty color. Let's just keep rolling. Next, we will grab the Super Shock highlighter, and I went with what I believe is a very, very popular one, which is Lunch Money. I've heard this is, I've heard a lot of people like this one. So this one doesn't have the little pressed pattern into it, which is interesting. It doesn't really matter, but it's so buttery to the touch. Again, I should have known this when touching the other ones because I have a Super Shock highlighter. I've got the Winnie the Pooh one that I love. It's so pretty. It's a little more golden than this. Oh, so buttery. This, I think I can use a sponge and just kind of take the little end and then just kind of bounce it on the cheeks. Ooh, look at that. Got a little bit of texture here on this side. Probably gonna emphasize that a bit, but that's okay. I don't mind. Alrighty, there is that highlighter on. If you can't tell, I'm very happy with the highlighter, the blush, the bronzer, and love how they're all working together. I think that's so pretty. It is a very noticeable highlight, I would say. It's not like overly blinding or anything like that, but it is still an obvious highlighter. So it might be a bit much for some people, but I'm loving it right now. I think it's really, really pretty. And that formula is so fun. So now we are on to the lips, and I purchased a lip liner. It is their Lippie Pencil, and I picked up their shade Oh Snap, which looks to kind of be like this mauvey purple color. And so it comes in like a plastic but sharpenable pencil. Like everything on their website, they have so many options. Yeah, it's kind of like sort of a mauve color, but still, I'm not good at describing colors, but I would think that that's kind of a mauve, but still leaning in the natural nude kind of category. And initially I was planning on using a lippy stick that I had, but I've had it for a very long time. And when I was getting ready for this, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I should still be using this because I've had this for so long. So instead I grabbed one of my Lux oils for my collection. This one is from, I believe, a specific collection, so it's a little bit cheating, but they do still have other Lux oils on their site, so I'll just put that price in for this. I thought this would be a safer thing to do rather than using the old lippy stick that I had. So let's go ahead, start with the liner here and line our lips with this. Actually blends in with my natural lip color kind of well. Like I haven't really filled them in and you can't really tell. Okay, yeah, I like how that lip liner looks. Feels very comfortable. Dried down really quick, but it's not uncomfortable at all. So that's really, really nice. Now let's grab that Lux lip oil and we'll put that over top. Alrighty, and there is the lip oil on top. It's very, again, this is another product that was in my collection. I like how the lip oils feel. Very thin, not heavy or anything on the lips, and I just like the glossiness that it gives. This one doesn't give a whole lot of pigment, just that gloss. So there are the lips. And now we are on to the last product, which is gonna be the setting spray. And for the setting spray, this is another product that is not a new product. I have had this one. I haven't used it a whole lot, to be honest, but is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I like this, I think. Again, I haven't used it a lot. I do know that I have other setting sprays that I know have a longer hold than this does. Let me just look on the site here. Does it say? It's a microfine refreshing setting mist that hydrates the skin. So it doesn't really say anything on the site about long lasting. So I think that's why I don't reach for it very often. So it's supposed to just be very hydrating feeling. I would recommend a product like this. You can use to start your makeup to bring some hydration to the makeup, or use while going through to kind of keep and help the products blend together really nicely. And you can use it at the end of your makeup as well, but I would recommend using and pairing another long hold setting spray with it, because I don't think this is a very like long hold type setting spray. So again, I've used this, but let's just give it a mister test for you guys. Did you hear that? It's so loud. Usually I speed these parts up, but I don't know that I'm gonna speed that up because it's such a funny noise. It's got some distance and it is such a fine mist. So that'll be nice. And it has a very fresh scent to it. Let me find my fan and my sponge. Kind of set everything down. Face is set. Yep, that just kind of brings like a nice hydrating feel and hydrating look to the skin, kind of keeping everything a little more glowy. Our highlighter there is a beamin'. But this is the finished look. I love how everything worked together and I'm really, really happy with this makeup look. So let's figure out what this full face cost is and start talking about the products here individually. We have a full face here. Is it 50? It doesn't feel like there's 15 products in front of me, but we do have a full 15 in front of us. So that's super duper exciting. This brand new face came out to be $173. And now this is considered to be a drugstore brand. It's higher, it's a higher-ish price for drugstore to some extent, and it's only in like drugstore areas for Ulta, and again, more recently into Target. Because I love the quality and the formula and stuff of the existing ColourPop products I had, and first impressions on a couple of them here as well, I don't mind that price point. Again, it is higher than I'd like for some druggy store prices to be, but I'm happy with, I think, everything that we use today. We'll start breaking that down here soon. So loving the products. I don't mind spending that much to get this type of full face because it is very beautiful and I had a lot of fun creating this look. Going through it individually here, the concealer, I am gonna say yes, it's not bunching and crunching or anything on the face here. It has good coverage. It worked really, really well as an eye base and really, really well as like small little spot conceals and stuff on the face. I probably will pick up a lighter shade to use for under the eyes for some brightness, but this shade honestly isn't too bad for on the face. So this guy is a yes. And then we went into the eyeshadow. Now this is one of the products that I already owned, so of course I'm gonna hang on to it. I already love and adore this palette, so obviously it's a yes. I love ColourPop's shadow formula. It's beautiful, so again, an obvious yes, and I'm really happy with the look that we've got going on the eyes here. Then we did the eyeliner, also a yes. This brown is so pretty. With the black mascara over it, like you can't entirely tell that it's a brown liner, but it still kind of helps keep everything really, really soft. So this worked really well. It brought the wing to a nice tip. I did not go in afterwards and have to take a wipe and clean up the tips and have to redo them or anything like that. So not that it's always gonna be that easy, but for my first time using it and it to do that and work that well is very impressive. I am very interested to see what other colors they have in this liquid formula because I really like that. And I love the pop of color that you can get from a liquid colored liner. So this guy is a yes. Mascara. What do you think I'm gonna say? What do you think I'm gonna say about this? This is a yes. I really like how this looks and feels on my eyes, on my teeny tiny baby lashes. This is probably out of the new stuff I'm the most excited about. Mascaras are something, when it comes to makeup, the things I get the most excited about, I would say, just because I'm so particular on how they look and work with my tiny lashes, and this one is hitting every single point. Again, it'd be nice if it stayed lifted a little bit more, but I think I can do other things to help the lashes stay lifted, and that won't be a problem. So this is a yes. Then we went on to the face and we used this No Filter primer, or their natural matte finish primer. I'm gonna say yes as well. This is probably, out of all the products here now, maybe the less, if I didn't have this, that would honestly be okay. It's just a very simple primer, but I do want to use it a couple more times here and kind of see how it fits in the collection. The makeup is sitting on top of it very, very nicely. Nothing is being disturbed or anything like that, so that's a good thing. So I will say yes, but I don't have a lot of initial thoughts on it at the moment. So we will keep using it and see what we think from there. And then the foundation. If I didn't talk about it enough when I showed it to you guys, this is a yes. Again, this is another product that's been in my collection that I've loved so much. I won't babble on about that here again, but this is a yes. I love the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, so yes to that. And then we set everything down with the powder, and I'm gonna also say yes. It's not heavy feeling or bunchy or crunchy or anything like that on the face here, so that's really, really nice. There's nothing crazy about it, which is honestly good. It does what a setting powder needs to do. It's not a mattifying powder and making the skin look dry or anything like that. It's not a hydrating primer and bringing glow or bringing anything like that to the skin. It's just simply setting the makeup down, and I think it did a very simple and good job of doing that. So that'll be a yes. And then we did the brows. I actually really like how my brows are looking today, and I like this taupe color. I think that works really, really well with my blonde hairs. So this guy's a yes. The formula is really, really nice. You can work with it really, really well. Has a spoolie on the end. Yes to that guy. And also yes to the clear brow gel as well. The hairs are staying in place really, really nice. Again, not crunchy or bunchy or anything like that, but they're not moving, which is really, really good. So also yes. And then we've got our Super Shock products. Bronzer, blush, and highlight. I'll just show these all real quick at the same time. These guys also yeses. I might try to find a cooler or maybe a slightly, well, I guess just cooler, a cooler shade of the bronzer that can be a little bit more sculpting, because I do like a sculpt look. This one's really, really pretty, and I do like how it performed. I'm curious to try it in different ways. Kind of if I can maybe use it like a cream bronzer where you put your line down, like a cream stick, you know, you put your line down and you blend it from there. I want to try that to see if that works and see if that gives a little more oomph to the skin. The blush is beautiful, love this color. And the Lunch Money highlighter, also beautiful, loving the cheeks. The cheeks look beautiful. And then the lip pencil, also a yes, love how it feels, love how it looks. This is a very natural, just kind of looks like my lips, so that's really nice. The lip oil, the Lux Lip Gloss is one that I already had, so this is also going to be a yes. Love how it looks on the lips here. And lastly, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid. It's acid. The Hyaluronic Pretty Fresh, the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. Kind of got there. Also another product I've already had in my collection, so this is gonna be a yes. Not my favorite of setting sprays, but I do like using this with other setting sprays. So we said yes to every single product. I don't know if in a brand new face video if that has happened yet, which is very, very impressive. ColourPop, you knocked it out of the park. I'm so happy with how the makeup performed. I'm so happy with how my makeup looks. I would love to hear from you guys down below as to what you think of this makeup look and what your guys' thoughts on ColourPop are. Do you have products from ColourPop that you love? Are there any ColourPop products that you guys would like me to try out? Because I would love to do that. And that's gonna be everything for me. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you want to be notified of the next time that I post, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified. If you guys have any brand new face recommendations, you can also leave those in the comments down below as well. I've got this whole list of brands. I would love to add it to make a future brand new face video for you. And that's it from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.